Segment 1: Opening and Modern Cognitive Problems. Hi, I am Ahmad Rizky Fahruddin. I will review a book, Tiny Experiment: How to Live Freely in a Goal-Obsessed World. Let's talk about something a lot of us are experiencing right now: cognitive overload. The world is changing rapidly, and we are trying to pour as much information as possible just to understand what's going on around us. We are also pushing yourself to be more productive just to keep up. So, what do we do? We build systems. We create routines, we make long to-do lists, often at the cost of our mental well-being. The truth is, your brains haven't evolved. They are still wired like they were thousands of years ago. But now, every day we are staring at a giant leaderboard, also known as social media. We compare yourself constantly. Am I doing enough? Am I fast enough? Am I productive enough? Am I ambitious enough? Segment 2: The Maximized Brain. This is what I call the Maximized Brain. It's that belief that if you do something, it has to be big, it has to be ambitious, it has to be optimized. You want to exercise, then go to the gym every single day. Want to write, start a book. Have an idea, make it a startup. But this kind of thinking leads to burnout. And in many cases, you might give up altogether because it feels like too much. Segment 3: Tiny Experiment as an Alternative. So, what's the alternative? I call it tiny experiment. Instead of chasing the biggest, most impressive version of a goal, what if you simply follow your curiosity? What if your goal wasn't to success but to learn something new? With tiny experiment, you are not aiming for success. You are aiming for discovery, fun, growth, joy. Segment 4: My personal journey. My life, I like to divide it into two chapters. Chapter 1 was linear. I follow traditional success, study hard, get a job at Google, climb the ladder, get promoted. Externally, I look successful, but inside, I felt empty. I was bored, burned out. So I quit, thinking maybe I will start a startup. But that too was just another script of success. When the startup failed, for the first time in my life, I had no idea what I was supposed to do next. That's when I asked myself, what would make me happy, even if I forgot everything if Ben thought about success. Segment 5: Reconnecting with Curiosity. I went back to curiosity. What was I naturally drawn to? For me, it was the brain. I have always been fascinated. by how we think and why we feel the way we feel. So I went back to school. I studied neuroscience. I cut my feet, and during that time, I start sharing what I was learning through a weekly newsletter. Just a small project, a tiny experiment, but I changed everything. Segment 6. What is mindset and why is it important? A mindset is just the default way we see the world. It influences everything, your decision, our relationship, the way we think, even how we feel. But here's the thing, most of us are not aware of our own mindset. That means we might be living on autopilot, making decisions that are, are not truly ours. The good news, mindset can change, but the first step is awareness. Segment 7. Three unconscious mindset that get in the way. There are three subconscious mindset that often get in the way of living a happy, conscious life. Let's break them down. One, the cynical mindset. You have lost curiosity and ambition. Maybe you mock those who still care deeply. You in survival mode, doom scrolling, feeling stuck. Two, the escapist mindset. You are still curious, but ambition is gone. You avoid responsibility through distraction. Binge watching, online shopping, dream planning, vacation. Three, the perfectionist mindset. High ambition, low curiosity. You seek certainty by working harder, longer, and lessly. Goals become your compass, but not your joy. Segment 8. The experimental mindset. So, what's the alternative? It's called the experimental mindset. In this mindset, you have both curiosity and ambition. You embrace uncertainty not as something to fear, but as a space to explore, learn, and grow. You don't just perfect outcomes. You start with a question. You design an experiment. You treat failure as feedback. This is what it means to live experimentally. Segment 9. Designing a living experiment. Designing an experiment start with curiosity, and to commit to the curiosity, I recommended make a pact. A pact is a commitment to try something small with intention. It has four key traits. One, purposeful. You care about it. Two, actionable. You can start it now. Three, continuous. You do it regularly for a set time. Four, trackable. You can say, did I do it? Yes or no. This is not a resolution. It's not a KPI. It's not a forever habit. It's any tiny experiment. Segment 10. Learning from internal and external data. When you finish your pack, reflect, look at two things. External signal, success, feedback, rich result. Internal signal, how did I feel? Were you energized or drained? Here's an example from my life. I ran an experiment to see if I want to become a YouTuber. The back one video per week until the end of the year. Externally, it went great subscriber engagement price. Internally, I hated treating the camera anxious every time. It drained me, so I stopped. That the data was clear, this was not for me. Segment 11. Little experiment in all areas of life. You can run tiny experiment in any area of life. In work, try send a weekly internal newsletter for 6 weeks. In relationship, every Sunday, reach out to a friend you have not spoken to. In health, try make for 20 minutes for 20 days. Don't assume it will work. Test it. That's the point. Even if a habit works for others, it might not work for you. Segment 12. Facing uncertainty. Modern life is full of uncertainty, and our brains hate that. Research shows uncertainty creates more stress than actual play. We crave control, so we read more, plan more, freeze more. But here's the reframe. Uncertainty is where growth happens. Real learning, it happens through trial and error, just like nature evolves. So, do we. Segment 13. Unleashing the linear success script. Success is not linear, and yet many of us follow that ladder model. Do A, then B, then C, and eventually you will success. But what if your direction changes? What if the ladder you are climbing is not yours? Linear models create toxic productivity. We compare, compete, and burn out. Let's treat the latter for cycle of experimentation. Let's shift from certainty and curiosity. Segment 14. Effective labeling, giving emotion a name. Let's talk about a powerful tool, effective labeling. It simply means putting words your emotion. I feel anxious. I feel stuck. I feel hopeful. Research show that naming your emotion reduce active in the amygdala, the brain's fear center, and boost activity in the prefrontal cortex, the rest rational part of your brain. Can find the exact word. Try describing your emotion like a landscape. It feels like a storm over a dark forest. It's like standing on a quiet cliff near the ocean. It helps because processing emotion before solving problem give you clarity and peace. Segment 15. Facing transition and liminal space. We struggle with transitional space. Why? Because your brains want clarity, we want safe or dangerous, known or unicorn. But transition, they are gray, unclear. Imagine you are on a flight with no Wi-Fi. Some people feel trapped. Anxious just want it to be over. Others think freedom and dive into books, movies, or reflection. Same situation, different mindset. Between stimulus and response, there is a space, and in that space is our power to choose. That's where freedom lies. Segment 16. Searching for passion versus discovering curiosity. When you ask happy people how they found their passion, many will say, honestly, I stumbled. You found it. That's the secret. Passion is not something you chase. It's something you discover through exploration, through curiosity, through experimentation. You try things, you test things, you learn what excites you. Then one day you find something that makes you excited to wake up. Segment 70. Understanding cognitive script. Let's talk about the cognitive script. These are internal patterns, mental autopilot, that tell us how we are supposed to act in certain situations. They are helpful for everyday stuff, going to the doctor or ordering at a restaurant, but they become dangerous when we use them for big decisions like career, relationship, life purpose. Segment 18. 3 inhibitory cognitive script. There are three major cognitive scripts that tend to limit us. One, the sequel script. We repeat what we've always done. Just path that makes sense based on our past. It's predictable, but it can trap us. Two, the crowd pleaser script. We make choice to keep others happy, parents, partner, bosses, their vision of success, not our. Three, the epic script. Society tell us go big or go home. That if we are not building something hook, we will fail. But that's survivorship bias. Not everyone who follow their passion make it, and that doesn't make them failures. Segment 19. Dropping the word soul. Want to break free from script? Start it. Every time you hear yourself say I sold, stop. Ask instead. What might I want to do? What might I explore? What might I try? That small shift solve to make create space. And in that space is freedom. Segment 20. Three questions to write left script. To rewrite your script as yourself, there's three questions. One, am I following my path or discovering my path? Two, am I placing the crowd or discovering my tribal? Three, am I chasing passion or exploring my curiosity? These are powerful reframes and they can change your life. Segment 21. Reframe procrastination as a signal. Let's talk about something we all deal with, procrastination. We've been taught it's bad, lazy, shameful. But what is procrastination? Is actually a signal from your brain that something off. It might not mean you are lazy. It might mean the task does not make sense. It does not feel right. You are not ready or equipped yet. That's not weakness, that's information. Segment 22. Triple check head, heart, hand. Here's a tool I use. It's called the triple check. When you are procrastinating us, is it from the head? Maybe you don't believe in the task. It doesn't feel rational or alive. Is it from heart? Maybe it feels boring. It drains you emotionally. Is it from the hand? Maybe you don't have the right tools, time, or skill. It's just a different solution. If it is the head, clarify your strategy. Talk your team, reframe the goal. If it the heart, redesign the experiment, make it more fun and joy. If it's the hand, ask for help. Learn the skill, get the tools. Segment 23. Something the problem is systemic. Something you go through the triple check, everything seems fine, and you still procrastinate. That's when you might be facing a systemic barrier. Maybe your work environment is not right. Maybe expectations are unrealistic. Maybe the culture does not fit. In this moment, don't just blame yourself. Zoom out, look around, and ask, is the system helping or hurting? Segment 24. Discovering the magic of Windows. Have you ever felt a moment or pure flow that disappears? You are focused, you are creative, everything just click. That's your magic window. Is when your mind, your energy, your mood align. You cannot force them, but you can notice them. And once you do, you can start to plan around them. Ask yourself, when do I feel most alive? What kind of work belongs in that space? How do I protect and open that window more often? Segment 25. Mindful productivity, sensitive productivity. Most of us measure productivity by time, every minute filed, every hour tracked. But mindful productivity asks a different question. What if the real resource is not time, but energy? Your mental energy, your emotional energy, your focus. Mindful productivity means asking three things. One, when is my magic window? Two, what belongs in that window? Three, how do I keep it open? When you honor your energy, not just your calendar, you work better, you feel better, you live better. Segment 26. To arouse emotion and yourself. In Buddhist philosophy, there is a concept called death by two arrow. The first arrow is the pain or negative emotion we experience. For example, procrastination, anxiety, failure. But the second arrow, that is the test, embarrass, or self-judgment that we add on top of that pain. And the good news, the second arrow is optional. We don't have to suffer twice. Segment 27. The best way to start is not focusing on result. Why is it difficult to start something important? Because we focus too much on the final result instead of us. What will the result be? Us. What can I learn? Run little experiment. Let's go of expectation. Let's go of other people's definition of success. Focus on the process. Focus on curiosity. If you learn something, that's progress. Segment 28. Self-anthropology, becoming your own research. Imagine you are an anthropologist and the subject of research is your own life. Try doing this for 24 hours. Observe your life. Write notes like an anthropologist. Pay attention to things like what gives energy, what drains energy, which conversation make you enthusiastic, which activities make you tired. The key question, why I doing this? What is really important to me? Segment 29. From observation to hypothesis. After you make observation, next step, create hypothesis. For example, I feel more alive when presenting at the office, even though I am nervous. Maybe in the solution, take a public speaking class as for a mentor or trying present for more often to practice. Then just work and turn that into a little experiment. Segment 30. Closing design life by experimentation. Final. Design your like a scientist, but not with a rigid long-term plan, but with little experiment, repetitive and reflective. For example, I will present every 2 weeks for 1 quarter. Then I will evaluate. Is this fun? Is this beneficial for your career? Do I want to continue or change direction? Combine signal internal and external. And from there, continue the next cycle. Closing. Thank you for following until the end. Remember, you don't have to know all the answer, but you can start with one question. And from there, you can build a life that is more conscious, more flexible, and more enjoyable. One small experiment at a time.